Susan, I have something to ask.
Good morning, Diane. Can I help you with anything?
About the dinner last night, I believe you were not invited. How come you were there?
David invited me.
I planned that dinner party. I did not invite you. Why did you come to the dinner uninvited? People with common sense would certainly not show up to a party uninvited.
I'm sorry.
It's been 6 months since you and David got married. I've asked you before not to attend a party, haven't I?
I believe I'm part of the family now that David and I are married.
But we're not blood relatives.
That should mean Steve, the husband of your daughter, can't attend the dinner either? But I saw him at the dinner last night.
He is an exception. They have children now, so I consider him a family member. You haven't carried out your responsibility as a family member yet. You don't have a child. I'm sorry, but I can't accept you as a family member yet.
Will you accept me as a family member once I have a child?
That's not the only condition. Steve also makes a decent income. Most of all, his education and career bear comparison with those of our families. But your background is a little different, you see.
Because I didn't go to college?
To put it simply, yes. There are more reasons. Like the fact that you were raised by a single mother and you're not well educated. Even the restaurants I choose are too high-end for you. You should never come to dinners again. You don't know table manners.
I've learned table manners since I became an adult. I will have no problem.
Oh, please. You think you're one of us now just because you've learned some table manners?
This is why I don't get along with uneducated people.
You may have no problem, but I do.
Did I misbehave at the dinner?
I wouldn't know. I didn't pay so much attention to you. Anyway, don't ruin our precious family time.
David has told you not to do that. Not to leave me out of the family. You apologized to me before.
I only apologized out of regard for my son. Are you going to tell on me again? That kind of behavior shows your lack of dignity.
I've never told on you. David just noticed.
Oh, did he? I hope I won't get an angry call from him blaming me. Listen, Susan. I'm telling you this for your own sake.
For my sake?
You know, you should know your place. I don't invite you to a dinner because you would feel miserable being somewhere you don't belong.
I never felt miserable. Everyone has been kind to me, including David, Catherine, and Steve. I always look forward to seeing everyone.
They're way too kind. Don't take advantage of their kindness. I wanted my son to have a well-bred, educated wife. It upsets me that in reality, someone like you is at dinner with us instead.
I'm sorry. I'll do my best to gain your approval.
That will never happen. If you understood me, don't ever come to the dinner again.
I understand.
Make up some reason not to come to the dinner when David invites you next time. He won't treat you as well as he does now when you get old. He will dump you when you get old. You will die lonely and miserable. Susan, did you receive the package of cheese I sent you?
Yes, I've just received it. Thank you for such an excellent selection of cheese.
I hope you know.
I know. Everything you sent to our house is for David.
Exactly. Those aren't gifts for you. It's good to know you've learned to behave with a little modesty.
It's written on the delivery slip for David. I wouldn't eat them without permission.
I guess reading is the only thing you can do. You never remember what I say.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, we are going on a family trip for New Year's. We're staying in the luxury hotel for 3 nights.
Yes, David told me.
I was glad to know I'm allowed to join the trip.
Thank you for your permission.
What? You're going to babysit Catherine's children.
Excuse me?
The place we're going to stay is a luxury non-child-friendly hotel. Make sure to take good care of them.
Am I staying home?
Obviously. Who do you think is going to pay for the trip? I know David wants to take you with him, but I won't allow him this time. Don't even try to come with us. I don't want to see your stupid face at the start of a new year.
I understand.
Good. We never had this conversation, got it? You tell on me, and you will put our family's relationship in jeopardy. David will inherit my property someday. Your behavior can change my mind about it.
Yes, I will keep that in mind.
If my husband were still alive, he wouldn't approve of you either. You should thank me for allowing you to marry my son.
Yes.
People who grew up in single-parent families are so impudent. It's disgusting. Our family comes from a long line of wealthy landowners. We've always married someone from a good family. David was supposed to marry the daughter of the doctor who lives in Texas. Then you came out of nowhere.
But we love each other. We're happy to have each other.
Ugh, how cheesy. Don't talk to me like we're equals just because you married a rich man.
With all due respect, he's just an ordinary businessman.
He comes from a wealthy family. That's the reason you married him in the first place. Why are you bringing this up now?
I don't care if he's wealthy or comes from a good family.
Yeah, right. Just don't come on the trip with us. That's all I care about. You can't go on a trip when you have children to babysit. Think over what I told you. Know your place and stay humble like the peasant that you are. It's such great weather today, Susan.
It really is.
Isn't it such a perfect day to go on a trip?
It sure is.
Oh, right, you're staying home. Well, you shouldn't complain. Babysitting is the only thing you can do to make yourself useful. We'll enjoy our family trip.
What a coincidence. I'm on a trip with my family too.
Huh? You're on a trip? With your family? Are you traveling with your mother? Did you take Catherine's children with you?
My mother is here, along with David, Catherine, and Steve. We've been having a great time at the hotel since yesterday.
David and Catherine are there? You're kidding, right? You're bluffing. You want to go on a trip so badly that you would lie to me?
We're actually here. I'm sorry, Diane.
What?
I've known for a week now that nobody was going on a trip with you. Nobody will come to the airport to meet you. I feel bad.
That can't be true. There's no way Catherine stood me up.
She says she would never go on a trip leaving her children behind.
I planned this whole trip for her. I was going to help her refresh herself.
Even so, she didn't want to make me babysit her children. Catherine is really warm-hearted, isn't she? David agrees with her. He said he's always been against leaving me out of the family.
But they were excited for the trip.
I know, they tricked you into believing so.
Are they really not coming?
No, we're too far away from the airport. Enjoy your trip alone. It really is a great day to go on a trip.
Shut it! Where is everyone?
I can't tell you that.
Are you actually telling me to spend New Year's holiday alone? I booked an expensive hotel. Don't mess with me. Are you trying to embarrass me?
We came to an agreement that we don't care about you or what will happen to you.
Susan, did you agree on that too?
Yes.
You're my daughter-in-law. You're supposed to listen to everything I say.
Think about the way you've treated me. How can you think I would listen to what you say?
I've been strict with you because David will be the head of the family someday. You need to behave properly as a wife of the head of the family. Otherwise, you will bring disgrace on your family. I play the bad guy for you.
I'm sure. I only took your treatment as harassment.
That wasn't my intention. Hey, I haven't been able to reach David or Catherine.
Oh, they said they blocked you.
Susan, please, tell them to answer my call.
I don't want to. I have to go. We should enjoy our trip.
Hold on! Susan! You won't get away with this! You'll regret this when you come back from a trip. Susan, there's something I'd like to tell you.
I have nothing to say. I already told you yesterday.
I'm done with you. I'd like to apologize for everything I've done.
I don't need your apology.
I'm going out of my way to apologize to you.
Even now, you've always disrespected me. You've always criticized me for being raised in a fatherless family, for not going to college. I want nothing to do with someone like you.
That was my fault. But I used to dream of a perfect daughter-in-law. I couldn't help but compare.
I've always been excluded from the family since David and I got married. I've been told that I'm not one of the family, that I don't belong in the family because of where I come from. Those are the things you've been telling me, aren't they?
Yes, but I will accept you from now on. David and Catherine gave me a lecture about my behavior. I regret what I've done.
You can regret as much as you want, but it won't change my feelings.
I'm making a compromise here. How impudent are you? What more do you want to blame me for?
Your behavior like that? I didn't ask for a compromise. You're only apologizing to me because David and Catherine wouldn't talk to you otherwise.
No. I feel that my criticism might have crossed the line.
Then don't ever judge people based on their educational background or their upbringing. That's all I ask for. I will cut ties with you.
Susan, I will accept you as a daughter-in-law. I sincerely apologize for my behavior. So, would you forgive and forget? Let's behave like adults. Conflicts happen between mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. No need to be so stubborn.
You're not in a position to decide. This isn't just discord between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I've tried my best to win your approval. Now I realized it was unnecessary.
I'm saying I recognize your effort now. Why aren't you happy about it?
Catherine told me you were planning behind our backs to make David remarry someone else. You've already found a woman to make his new wife. I don't believe a single word coming from someone who plots something like that.
I'd be all alone if David and Catherine break off relations with me. There would be no one to take care of the house.
Why don't you pass it to one of your relatives?
Why would I give away my property to someone in a branch family? I've worked so hard to protect my property.
David and Catherine value something else over family property. They left you because of your obsession with money and status. I have nothing more to say to you. David and I will have a happy, peaceful life together.
I'm really sorry, Susan. I apologize for everything. So please don't break off our relations. Please convince David to change his mind.
No, I made up my mind, and so did David. We decided to lead a happy life surrounded with kind people that we love. Diane, who will die alone and miserable, me or you? After David and Catherine severed their relations with Diane, she shut herself in a large, lonely house. David and Catherine have always felt repulsion towards Diane's obsession with money and status. Diane had been opposed to Catherine's marrying anybody until she married Steve. Catherine was allowed to marry Steve only because he had a career Diane approved of. Catherine said, laughing, that she would have been single still if she had not met Steve. Diane was devastated by the fact that her own son and daughter left her. A neighbor who ran into Diane said she looked depressed and aged. Nonetheless, David and Catherine said it was good medicine for her. They seemed to have no intention of reconnecting with her again. Diane has always looked down on everyone and had no friends. That was probably why she was so attached to her family. But now her family gave up on her. She must be having a sad, lonely life alone. I was very happy to go on a trip with my family in the beginning of a new year. I am happy and grateful to be surrounded with a lot of warm-hearted people. To have a supportive husband and a sister-in-law who always cares about me. I will never forget their kindness and will continue to repay them by giving them all the support.
Hi, Miss Miranda. I'm Lucy. I noticed that your son Alex was absent from school today. Is everything okay? Hi, yes, I'm sorry. Alex won't be able to come to school for a while. Is there anything specific that's keeping Alex from coming to school? Oh, nothing much. Alex said he wanted to go back to his hometown to visit his grandparents, so I took him there for a few days. I was so busy at work that I forgot to tell you. I'm really sorry. I see. That sounds like a nice trip. When do you expect Alex to be back at school? We're planning to stay for a few more days, but I'll make sure he catches up on any work when we return. He hasn't seen his grandparents in a long time, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity for him to spend time with them. I understand, but it's important for Alex to attend school regularly so that he doesn't fall behind on his studies. We have some exams coming up soon, and I want to make sure that he's prepared for them. Don't worry. Alex is a smart boy. He'll catch up on any missed work and do fine on the exams. I hope so, but I have to be honest with you. I'm concerned about Alex's academic performance and behavior at school recently. He's been struggling with his coursework lately, and I've noticed some strange behavior from him during class. Really? I wasn't aware of that. What kind of behavior? Well, he seems disengaged from the class and doesn't participate much in group activities. I've also noticed that he's easily distracted and fidgety during lessons. It's possible that there may be something else going on with him that's affecting his behavior. I haven't noticed anything unusual at home. Maybe he's just going through a phase. It's possible, but it's hard to say without knowing more about what's going on with him. But I think it would be a good idea to have him see a counselor or therapist to better understand what he's going through. I understand your concern, but I don't think that's necessary. Alex is just going through some growing pains. That's all. I understand your point, but as his teacher, it's my responsibility to ensure he gets the support he needs to succeed academically and emotionally. I would hate to see him fall behind or struggle with underlying issues. I appreciate your concern, Lucy. I'll keep an eye on him and let you know if there are any changes. Thank you, Miss Miranda. Please keep me updated on his progress and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Hi, Miss Miranda. This is Lucy. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up with you about Alex's behavior in school today. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for checking in. I'm sorry to hear that. What's going on? He seemed very disoriented and anxious and didn't participate in class activities. He's always sitting in the corner of the classroom looking for ways to shield his body. When I asked him about his trip to his hometown, he said he didn't go anywhere and was alone in the house. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with the boy. We did go on a trip to visit his grandparents, but maybe he's just forgotten. Apparently, he even took a picture with his grandparents and wanted me to print it out. I put some pictures in his school bag. You can open it to find them. I see them, but are you sure these are recent pictures of Alex? Because he looks smaller in these pictures. Oh, of course. I'm sure about it. Maybe because Alex has put on weight in the few days he's been with his grandparents. So you see it that way. Yes, but I noticed some bruises on his arms that looked like they were from someone grabbing him tightly, which had me concerned. I just wanted to ask if everything is all right at home. Oh, those bruises. Yeah, he fell down while playing with his friends. It's nothing to worry about. I can't say for sure, but the bruises looked suspicious. And how Alex acted today made me think that something might be going on at home. Miss Miranda, I have to be honest with you. I'm concerned that Alex may have been abused. The bruises on his arms are a red flag for me, and his behavior at school has been really concerning lately. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. He's my lovely son. I've never had any reason to abuse him. I understand that, but the bruises are still concerning. I would really like to speak with Alex and get a better understanding of what's going on. You know that there's a counseling room for psychology, right? Please take some time to come here and participate in a counseling session with me and Alex. As his guardian, your presence would be required. No. I am not allowing you to do that. You can't put my son in there and turn him into a psycho. He's just going through puberty changes. Don't overreact. Puberty at 7 years old? I don't think that's a valid reason. Miss Miranda, I understand you may feel uncomfortable with the idea of counseling, but I believe it's important for Alex's well-being that we explore these concerns. I still don't understand why you're making such a big deal out of this. He fell down. That's all. I appreciate that you're trying to explain the bruises, but as a teacher, it's my responsibility to look out for the welfare of my students. And right now, I'm worried that something might be going on with Alex that's causing him to act this way. You should stop talking nonsense about my son. You are not allowed to touch or talk to my son anymore. I will find a psychiatrist myself, so he'll be treated on my terms. We are dealing with some personal matters that we would rather keep private. I'm going to school to pick him up right now. I understand your concerns about privacy, but as Alex's teacher, it's important for me to ensure that he's getting the support he needs to succeed academically and emotionally. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Hello, Miss Miranda. I was just wondering if everything is all right. Alex hasn't been in school for 3 days, and I'm a little concerned. There's nothing to be concerned about. Alex didn't want to go to school, so I let him stay home. I see. However, with only 3 days left until the exam day, it's not a good idea for Alex to take too many breaks. He won't be eligible for the class if he continues to miss school. I understand your concern. I took Alex to a psychiatrist, and she recommended that he rest for a while. So, I followed her suggestion. If that's the case, I can help Alex apply for a leave of absence from school so he won't fall behind. How is Alex's condition? He's much better now. The test results show that he has a developmental anxiety disorder and a tendency to self-harm. The bruises were caused by him. Lately, he's been experiencing a lot of anxiety, and it's been difficult for him to attend school. I'm sorry to hear that. Anxiety can be really tough to deal with. I would like to visit Alex to see how he's doing and offer any assistance I can. Could you arrange that? I appreciate your concern, but it's not necessary. We're taking care of everything at home, and Alex is receiving the support he needs. I understand. Can I at least drop Alex some study materials, assignments, and study guides? I just want to make sure he's doing okay. We're working with a tutor to make sure he doesn't fall behind, so I think he'll be fine. Thank you for your concern, but I'd prefer it if you didn't visit him now. We just want some privacy to deal with the situation. Of course, Miss Miranda. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to support Alex. Why are there police officers at my door saying that Alex's teacher reported that I abused him? What nonsense did you say to the police? And where is my son? Where did you take him? I reported a serious child abuse case that occurred to my student Alex. I am just trying to protect him. What are you talking about? If you don't have proof, why are you accusing me? Are you trying to kidnap my son? I would never do anything cruel to Alex as you and your boyfriend did. Alex is in the hospital with me. The police have just finished taking his statement. What statement? What the hell are you talking about? After class today, I had to pass by your house. I noticed that your house was locked from the outside, even though you said you were at home with Alex. There were crumpled pieces of paper all over your yard with SOS written in Alex's handwriting. And I called out to Alex and tried calling you, but you didn't pick up. So I went inside to check. Alex was lying motionless on the floor, covered in whip marks and bruises. He was unconscious. This is outrageous. How dare you enter my property without my permission? You have no right to do that. Go ahead. I'm not afraid of you. I had to take action because I saw something that raised serious alarm bells. Alex was lying unconscious on the floor with whip marks and bruises all over his body. It was a horrific sight, and I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. You just make things worse. He was probably just sleeping. Just fell asleep? I broke the window to get in, and the noise was so loud that Alex didn't even move. That boy was unconscious, and the bruises were too severe to be self-inflicted. I called the police and took Alex to the hospital. But I already told you he is mentally ill and tends to harm himself. He's hit himself before, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. Alex's emotions are very unstable. He's in a constant state of fear and panic. He shows very similar behavior to children suffering from abuse, especially when he sees a man wearing a belt. Moreover, Alex has very serious back injuries. So how could a 7-year-old kid hit himself in the back with such great force? You're wrong. He has a developmental anxiety disorder, and the bruises were caused by himself. The psychologist at the hospital checked Alex, and they said his emotions were very similar to those of an abused child. It's clear that he was physically abused, and you're responsible for it. This is ridiculous. You have no right to accuse me of abuse. I would never hurt my son. I'm not accusing you of anything, but the evidence speaks for itself. Alex's injuries are consistent with physical abuse, and as his teacher, it's my duty to report any suspicion of child abuse to the authorities. Moreover, Alex told us everything. Sam, what you did to your son is despicable. You starved him for 3 days and then left him alone to go on a trip with your boyfriend. And to make matters worse, you were the one who let your boyfriend hit him. He said he begged for your help, but you did nothing but sat on the sofa and watched that man hit Alex with a smile on your face. How could you do that to your own flesh and blood? I don't have to explain anything to you. Alex is my son, and I can do whatever I want with him. No, you cannot. Child abuse is a serious crime, and you will face the consequences of your actions. I have already reported the abuse, and they will take all the necessary measures to ensure Alex's safety. You can't prove anything. It's your word against mine. That freaking kid just imagined it all. Oh, I have proof. The hospital documented Alex's injuries, which will be useful as evidence in court. And let me remind you, there were crumpled pieces of paper with SOS written on them all over your yard. Your son was clearly trying to ask for help, and you ignored his cries. I don't care about your accusations. You will regret getting involved in my business. I will not regret doing what's right for my student. Alex deserves to live in a safe and healthy environment, not in a home where he is starved and abused. And I will make sure justice is served for him. You don't know anything about me or my family. Mind your own business and stay out of our lives. I will not turn a blind eye to child abuse. It's my responsibility as a teacher and as a human being to protect children from harm. I will continue to report any suspicious behavior or signs of abuse, no matter who it involves. Listen, I understand that you care about Alex, but I also know that kids can make things up. Alex could have just fallen and injured himself. You don't want to ruin my life and my family's life over something that might not be true, do you? I'm willing to pay you a large sum to testify that Alex lied about the abuse. I won't do it. Alex didn't lie, and I won't perjure myself in court just because you want to cover up your crimes. I can't turn a blind eye to what Alex is going through. Money won't change my mind. But think about it. You could have all the money you need. No more struggling to make ends meet. Just say that Alex made it all up, and we can put this whole thing behind us. I can't do that, Miranda. Money won't make me betray a child who needs help. I won't let you get away with abusing your own son, and you should be ashamed of yourself for even suggesting such a thing. I'm not afraid of you, Miranda. I'll do whatever it takes to protect Alex. I can't understand. Why are you so determined to protect that brat? Because I can relate to his situation. When I was a child, I was also a victim of abuse, but nobody helped me at that time. I know firsthand how it feels to be helpless and vulnerable, and I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. You know you'll never be able to stop all the abuse. Let's just skip it this time, and take the money. I know it, but it's time to break the cycle of abuse and neglect. I will do everything in my power to make sure Alex gets the love and care he deserves. You should stop talking nonsense. One day you'll have to pay the price for meddling in other people's family affairs, bitch! Hey! Answer me! I will kill you! Damn it! One day later, Sam and her boyfriend were arrested for child abuse. The police found evidence in their house, confirming the teacher's suspicions. Miranda and her boyfriend were charged and sentenced to jail for their heinous crimes. Meanwhile, Alex is recovering very well under the care of me and other friends and teachers in school. With love and care, he regained his strength and confidence. I have become his legal guardian, and he's thriving under my care. Alex's story inspired me to advocate for child protection and fight against child abuse. I started a campaign to raise awareness about child abuse and to promote the importance of reporting any suspicion of abuse. In the end, justice was served, and Alex found a new home where he's loved and cared for. Alex now has a chance to live a happy and fulfilling life, and I'm very happy for him.